This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
This show is brought to you by Pet King Brands, the makers of Zymox and Oratine.
It's Oh Behave with Arden Moore, the show that teaches you how to have harmony in the household with your pets. Join Arden as she travels coast to coast to help millions better understand why cats and dogs do what they do. Get the latest scoop on famous faces, their perfectly pampered pets, and who's walking who in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails. Garner great pet tips and have a doggone fur-flying fun time. So get ready for the pause and applause as we unleash your Oh Behave host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. You know that puppy or dog you just adopted, or maybe the one that's been lounging on your couch for a couple of years? They just might be an undiscovered star. All he or she needs is what our special guest calls a dose of positively woof. Our special guest not only believes that dog tricks save lives, but he proves it every time he trains dogs in animal shelters all over the country and help them land great homes. Oh, and by the way, he only has 2 million Facebook followers and growing. Plus, he is the co-author of the best-selling book, The Big Book of Tricks for the Best Dog Ever. Please give pause and applause to a good friend of mine and a very kind person to all who woof, the one and only Larry K. Welcome to the show, Larry.
Thank you, Arden. Woo! It is really great to be with you.
We both are going to be punning it, I can predict. Hey guys, we're going to be talking to Larry because you can teach an old dog new tricks. You can teach a shelter dog tricks, and you sure can help the humans trying to do the tricks. And the bottom line is an enriched, happy, safe home for all. So you know the drill. We got to pay for the show. So everybody sit and stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a pause. 4 furry ones, actually. Sit and stay. Oh Behave will be right back.
Hey, pet pals. Arden Moore here. Welcome to fall and winter. Now, this is a great time to take your dog on a hike in the woods, maybe go on a camping trip or a road trip. But just like us, changes in weather can actually impact the skin and ears of our dogs and cats. So if you got a pet who's scratching his ears, chewing on his coat, or rolling in mud, help is here. Zymox. For inflamed and itchy paws and coats, you can use the Zymox topical spray. For itchy and irritated ear issues, you can use Zymox enzymatic ear solution. And for bass, you can treat your dog or cat to Zymox shampoo and conditioners. Now, Zymox has been your pet's safe and trusted health ally for 20 plus years. So you can pick up Zymox at your veterinary clinic, most pet specialty stores, and online. To learn more, just visit Zymox.com. That's ZYMOX. Do it for your pet.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com. Oh Behave is back with more tail-wagging ways to achieve harmony in the household with your pets. Now back to your fetching host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome back to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Our special guest today is Larry K. Now check this out, guys. Yeah, he's got a few great selling books under his belt, or on his leash, maybe. He is a filmmaker. He is a professional dog trainer. And you got to check out his show on Facebook Live. COVID or no COVID, this dude knows how to create a following. The show is actually called, I love it, Dog Hugs. And yes, he's helped me teach my pet safety dog, Kona, how to hug me. And you got to check out his main site, Positively Woof. Now, I would spell it P-A-W, but he spells it the normal way, positivelywoof.com. There's a lot we can talk about, but the main thing is talk about your mission, Larry, because I know you have the acronym ARF, A-R-F. All right, bring it. Unleash it.
Ralph. Arden, thanks so much for having me on the show. I just love the work you've done and have admired you for all these years and more. So ARF, A is for advocacy, and that's to create a better world for dogs and all animals. And that enriches the world for us, humans, or as you say, humans, too.
Yeah. And the R?
R is for readiness, training, getting ready to have a great life. And F, it's for fun, because dogs embody fun in their every waggy being.
All right. Now, let's talk about shelter animals. This is the time of year where people either get a purebred dog or puppy, or they're going to a shelter. And Lord knows the four-leggers with tails have been saving our tail during this crazy pandemic year, emotionally, spiritually, physically, you name that. But I saw a clip of you with a story of a dog named Beauregard from a shelter. Tell us, what do you mean by dog tricks save lives? Because people think, well, I don't know.
Dog tricks save lives because inside of every dog is this undiscovered star. And that's a homeless dog, any dog. You know, that homeless dog could become this undiscovered movie star.
I'm hoping that for my dog, Kona.
Great. You know, a future therapy dog who would comfort those in need,
Yep.
a search and rescue dog, or the best kind of stardom, a love pet. Oh, good drum roll there.
Thank you.
I'll do it again. Or the best kind of stardom,
I was a percussionist in band.
a loved dog in a forever home.
Perfect. So you went to a shelter recently, maybe not recently, but there's a video clip, and there's this, looks like a hound dog named Beauregard. Tell us about Beauregard's story.
Well, we don't know too much about his prehistory, but he is this mixed hound, probably some kind of a coon hound, just a lovely dog. And he was among the, handful of dogs that I went to this shelter in Skillman, New Jersey, near Princeton.
Oh, okay.
To train a bunch of dogs and deliver a keynote and do a workshop, help out the folks at SAVE, SAVE.
Nice.
So Bo was the dog that I brought up on stage among all the dogs that we trained there. And in just a couple of days, taught him these fundamentals, which I really consider the fundamental tricks that will help homeless dogs get adopted into forever homes. And the other great thing about these tricks is that it also begins to socialize them.
Yep.
Because as you know, Arden, it's one thing to have a well-trained dog who can even do some real magic tricks, but it's quite another thing to have a dog in the real world who will behave.
Good emphasis for this show. Thank you. Yeah.
Always got to do those callbacks, Arden.
That's right. That's right. So with Bo, what are the fundamentals that you taught Bo?
So part of my program, Dog Rescue Stars, that teaches homeless dogs like movie dogs, is trick training. And the couple of basic tricks that we use are getting on top of a platform.
And explain what that means. It could be a couch. What could it be?
Right. You're right. It could be a couch. Now, you see platforms in movies all the time. A dog gets up on a couch, as you said, that's a platform. Or on a boulder, that's a platform. So what a platform does is this raised area, small contained area, where the dog is elevated. And once the dog has the confidence to get up on that, the dog learns to focus. And by getting on that platform, it engages the dog's body and brain together. And that engagement speeds up training.
You know, there's a lot of dog trainers out there. I have never thought of that, but that makes a lot of sense because you're giving confidence and you're getting the body and the mind in harmony. Wow. All because of a couch or a boulder. Nice.
Yes. I'm a big fan of the Blue Nine climb platforms. And you can go that way, or you can make your own platforms as long as it's a stable, steady surface that the dog is really comfortable to get up on.
Okay.
So again, that elevated space really makes a difference for the dog's training.
What else?
So the second trick that I love to train all dogs is the paw shake.
Oh,
Why do we love the paw shake, Arden?
well, and COVID, it's the only handshake we can do safely.
Oh, amen.
Yeah, pause up to you, Larry. But tell us about the paw shake. There's a lot of magic there.
Yeah, it really is magical. The paw shake says that we share a language, that we're connected, that we're safe. So the paw shake is the basis for all kinds of tricks. In a TV commercial, Bo or any dog can put his or her paw on a dog food bag.
Oh, yeah.
Or in an adoption photo, a dog who learns the paw shake can learn to wave high or place a paw on top of a sign that says, "Adopt me."
That's powerful.
The paw shake is the basis for socialization, and it really helps dogs get adopted. So those two fundamentals, the paw shake and getting on a platform, really helps the dog to get adopted and socialized. I'll back up and talk about the platform again for a moment.
Sure.
Once we use a couple of platforms, the dog learns to shuttle from one platform to another platform. And so then you begin to introduce different trainers into the mix. Now, it's one thing if a dog can learn to, do any of those tricks with me or you or any one, say, professional, but it's quite another thing for that dog to have the trust that this is a safe world and begin to do those behaviors with all kinds of people.
Which is very important for your aunt and your niece and nephew and all that want to meet the new dog.
True that.
So during all this, I really need to introduce, I've been rude to not introduce your co-partner, and I'm talking about your four-legged guy, Spider. And Spider was one of these shelter dogs, correct? And wasn't winning Adopt Me contest. Is it a he, right? Spider?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the dude wasn't winning the popularity shelter.
Oh, golly. I met Spider on one of my film sets on this particular day. This was at Pet Orphans of Southern California,
Okay.
near where I live, where I've been piloting this Dog Rescue Stars program. And they have been kind enough to really open their shelter to me and allow me to come in there and trial and error, figure this out and really boil it down to the essentials. So on this particular day, we were making this 4th of July film.
Okay.
And the shelter brought out 12 dogs.
Oh, gosh.
And we began our process of trick training and making this film. Well, there was one dog who was especially rough. I mean, you could barely touch him. This Australian cattle dog.
Oh, yeah. We got a brainiac in the body.
Yeah, and he looked and sounded like he'd walked straight out of a Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
So the shelter gave him the perfect name, Spider.
Ooh, creepy. Don't touch me. Ooh. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, you could barely touch him.
Aw.
And he'd had a history. He'd been adopted twice before, sent back to the shelter.
How old do you think he was about that?
They said he was about 2 years old. I'm going with that.
All right.
Yeah. And, it might have been 3 strikes and you're out. But fortunately, Pet Orphans had pulled him off of death row. And, he wound up on our film set. But unfortunately, at the end of the shoot, all he could do, and we were thankful for that, was sit for 5 whole long seconds.
Oh, seconds. You were going to say minutes. Really? So you had your paws full with this challenge.
Oh boy, yeah. Yeah. Well, so most of the other dogs, they learn to sit and stay and pose and even learn some tricks. So naturally, almost all those dogs got adopted right away. But a month later, no one had come for Spider. So, I volunteered to take him on walks. And he began.
Is this where we play the love song?
I think so.
There's a love in the bloom.
Yeah, he began to open up. Instead of avoiding eye contact, he looked at me.
Nice.
So I taught him some hand signals, Arden.
Good.
And then he smiled.
Wow.
So I decided I was up for a big challenge.
Yep.
I brought Spider home forever.
Very nice.
And now he knows more than 50 dog tricks.
What's one of the more challenging ones he does?
Well, one of his favorites is perching his front paws up on this big exercise ball.
Oh, wow.
And he'll roll the ball around the studio.
Working his abs.
That's right. Strong core there. And from the big ball, he's invented his own trick. He will hop from the big ball onto the handlebar of a toy shopping cart, and he'll trolley that across the studio.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, how old would you say he is now? We're guessing.
Well, if he was first 2, he is now 7.
Okay.
Almost 7.5.
Nice.
Yeah. In the beginning, as I say, you could barely touch him. In fact, our veterinarian needed 3 technicians just to examine him.
Wow.
Now we perform dog tricks in the waiting room.
Well, he's getting that rectal thermometer. Wow. This is great. I love this story because it shows that everyone, no matter what the status is, the dog, there is a good chance with love and safety and consistency that you can bring out the best in our dogs. Folks, we're speaking with Larry Kay. You got to check out his site, Positively Woof, and please join his show every day on Facebook. It's called Dog Hugs. He's written great books. One of my favorites is The Big Book of Tricks for the Best Dog Ever. But there's another one that really brings it home, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And it's called Life's a Bark: What Dogs Teach Us About Life and Love. We're going to talk more with Larry Kay after we pay for this show by taking this commercial break. So sit and stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a walk on the red carpet, of course. Oh Behave will be back in a flash right after these messages.
Hey everybody, Arden Moore here. Now, for generations, you have to agree, James Herriot's memoirs, All Creatures Great and Small, plus his other book, All Things Bright and Beautiful, have enchanted animal lovers like us for many, many years. Great news! Nicholas Ralph, the star of the upcoming PBS Masterpiece series, is bringing to life the unforgettable world of James Herriot and his menagerie of heartwarming, funny, and tragic animal patients, full of charm and wit. These brand new audiobooks are the perfect way to delve into the magical stories of the world's most beloved veterinarian. The All Creatures Great and Small, plus the All Things Bright and Beautiful audiobooks are available now wherever audiobooks are sold. Take a listen.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There's no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms. And our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, radio.com, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, this is Steve Wozniak, and I would love to invite you to listen to the O Behave Show by Arden Moore on Pet Life Radio.
We're back from the lot. Just checked the paper and we had a record showing at the box. The letterbox, that is. Now back to O Behave. Here's Arden.
Welcome back to the O Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. We're talking with Larry Kay. He's a professional dog trainer. He's a filmmaker. Oh my God, I don't think the show has enough time to say all the things you've done. But one of your books, what's your best-selling book? Because you've written a number of them, but the one with, I think it's through Workman.
2 books with Workman Publishing. And again, Arden, thank you. This is really wonderful. And to get those accolades from you is really a treat, because
Treat. Did you say treat? Don't say that out here. My house is all looking at me. All my dog ears and cat ears, they're all like, treat, treat.
Yep. Workman Publishing took a flyer on me as a first-time author and published Training the Best Dog Ever. It just so happened that my co-author was the late Dawn Sylvia Stasiewicz, who was President Obama's dog trainer.
Wow. Nice.
And so Dawn and I together pitched the book to Workman, and well, anyhow, the rest is history. Unfortunately, Dawn was not in great health, and she passed away shortly after the book was published. But year by year, the book really caught on, and then I learned Facebook. And
no, it's called the Facebook. Yeah.
The Facebook.
Yeah.
And it caught fire. It won some awards. The award I think I'm proudest of is it won the first ever book award from the Association of Professional Dog Trainers.
Oh, yeah. That's a top dog award. Yes, yes. And I like that you used the word ever. So your next book, obviously, the big book of tricks for the best dog ever. From these pages is where I taught Kona, pet safety dog Kona, she has gone through 4 levels of obedience, has her canine good citizen, and is a therapy dog. She loves the hug. Can you explain? Because we all need a hug these days and we can't do it from human to human. So how do you teach a person to teach their dog to do the dog hug?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad you love that trick, Arden.
It's my favorite.
So there are 2 ways for your dog to hug you. First of all, safety first. If your dog isn't a hugger, there is no forcing.
No.
If your dog might get your ear bit off, that's not a good time. You may want to wear a crash helmet and goggles when you start this one.
Right, but you got to know your dog. You got to know your dog and your dog's, that's my limit.
Yeah. So I like to have a dog hug me from behind, meaning jump on my back on a raised platform.
There you go.
And put his paws over my back.
So draping over onto your shoulders, onto the front.
Yeah, from my back over my shoulders onto the front, right? Okay. So that's a dog hug. So the building blocks for that, and that's one of the things that's in the book, are these building blocks to show how every trick leads to another trick. Right. Now, the dog hugs, the building blocks for that are first getting on a platform, which we talked about already, and that'll be raised up a little higher, so it'll be easier for then the dog to, second trick, perch.
There you go.
These are her paws on your shoulders. So you first want to teach a dog to perch, put 2 paws up on a platform, on an object, on a bar, on your arm, on your leg. So once you teach the perch and getting on a platform, then you can position yourself, say, on the floor, so the dog is raised up a little bit, and lure the dog forward onto your shoulders.
With like a treat, right?
With like a treat, right.
Yeah, so I did it with Kona because Kona knew about sitting up and being on a platform. So she's on my sofa and I have my butt on the floor, and then I'm behind her and I go hug, and I use my hand as I guide her head across my shoulder and I touch my heart, and that's where she places her head. So so you dissected this really well. So a lot of things about tricks is just breaking it up into bite-sized successes.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because it can really seem overwhelming, these tricks. And one of the things that I decided to do in the big book of tricks for the best dog ever is really break things down. So it's, first of all, the book is broken down into different training programs.
Right.
Oh, big shout out to my co-author. I brought in for the project.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, please.
The great stunt dog performer, Chris Parandi, and his wife, Suhei Parandi. And we did this amazing photo shoot that Workman put together. And we did a 2-week photo shoot for this book. I know, it was amazing. So in the beginner program, we curated only 20 tricks. And we curated them because they could be building blocks for all kinds of tricks.
There you go. There you go.
And then in the intermediate program, only 33 more tricks, plus some mini training programs within that intermediate program.
Wow.
So, and then,
Oh,
pro level training. It's kind of like being in college.
yeah. So this is the PhD, the Pretty Happy Dogs.
Well, you're all going to be doctors here.
Yeah.
So now it's time to declare your major. And so
Okay.
there are 4 different majors, 4 different pro level training programs. First, movie making with your dog. That's
Good.
my specialty. That's
Yeah.
my background. Second, Chris and Suhei's specialty, performing live with your dog.
There you go. Yep.
Third, dog dancing.
Well, my
And-
dogs are in trouble with my left feet. Okay, go ahead.
You could teach your dog to dance with 2 left feet, right?
Yeah.
4 left feet.
Yeah, my dogs always lead. Oh, well. Okay.
And
the
then
fourth?
the 4th pro level program is extreme stunts and sports. So
Ooh.
that includes disc dog, and Chris is a former national disc dog champion, agility, parkour, skateboarding, and surfing.
I had a couple of surf dogs. Yep.
Nice.
So the thing you're seeing, folks, you're hearing, because this is radio, is here's a guy that's showing you no matter what, no matter where the dog came from, using safety and love and acceptance and getting their brain and body to work, you might have a star which is defined by you in many ways, right?
Right.
I live with a lot of stars. They woof and meow. I don't think we're going to be on TV, but I love what they do because they make me a better person.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned TV. In this YouTube world,
Yeah.
any dog can really be a star.
Good
On
point.
Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever is the platform of your choice. TikTok, you can really create some real fun with your dog and among your friends. Have your own neighborhood.
This is better than those stupid,
program.
boring Zoom meetings where you're all standing looking at each other's background and wonder what's going on. So how can we use these trick trainings in COVID? It seems like this is the one Zoom show you want to tune into with your family as you stumble through a trick, right?
Indeed. Yes. I love how you just kind of put the ball ahead, throw it through your hat over the fence. Let's go chase it.
Yeah.
Because really this is a great time of vision when we all can become inventive and try these new things, take chances.
That sounds good. Now, you alluded to this piloting of the dog, what was it called? Dog Rescue Stars? What's going
Right.
on with that? Can you say anything?
Yeah, sure. Well, the APDT Journal, Chronicle of the Dog, allowed me to do a big article on it. They allowed a feature story. They were so enraptured with it. And this whole project of trick training and movie making with homeless dogs, with shelter dogs. And so we were going to pilot it this year at Pet Orphans. That's the shelter where I adopted Spider. But literally a week before, like they had to pivot. It's like, Larry, we're shutting it down. And it's like, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Safety
Yeah.
first.
So COVID, has become a big lockdown for all of us, for each of us. Something had to get locked down. And for me, it was unleashing, as you said, Dog Rescue Stars. So this workshop will begin again, hopefully in 2021.
I'm
Yes.
optimistic. Yes, it's
Woo-hoo.
going to happen. It's going to happen.
Amen, sister.
So we'll have you back on too when that gets going so we can promote it. We just have a couple minutes left on the show, but in your book, Life's a Bark, you have different things where you say, try this. And let's see if I can find one that I really...
Well, while you're looking, I'm really glad that you brought up this book. I created Life's a Bark shortly after my dog Higgins, this golden retriever who I adopted from Golden Retriever Rescue, GRR. Yeah.
See, it's radio. You got to do it.
Arr.
Yeah, there you go. We're pirates
That's
now.
my pirate Arr. There was just so much that I was feeling. I've had the big feels, Arden, and and so I just started some writing, and it became this book.
Well, here's something I will share.
Okay.
From his book, Life's a Bark. Love me as I am, because dogs accept themselves as they are. So everything has this comment, and then it's a try this for us two-leggers. And I love this. When you have a negative thought, interrupt that pessimistic pattern by acting like a dog. Smile and pant. Bonus points for scratching your head with your foot. I'm not that flexible. I'm going to use my hand. But that makes me feel goofy. But you're already releasing the oxytocin, the cuddle hormone, right?
Bingo. That is really key. Interrupt that pattern, replace that oxytocin with what's the
oxytocin's the good one.
Oxytocin's the good one. What's the other?
Serotonin's good. I only think of good things. I don't know. The negative hormone and a stress hormone. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was so proud of myself saying oxytocin.
That's right. Yeah, build up, or say agar.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's I get the show's going in a handbasket. I'm sorry. Don't put the two of us together, but we'll probably have you back on our show for that very reason, right, Larry?
Right.
Yeah. Now the dog woof. That's on Facebook. So let's wrap this up by having how people can watch you, learn from you. And so first talk about the Facebook show. You're with Geraldine and Robbie. So give a shout out on that.
Yeah. Positively Woof is my brand. So go to positivelywoof.com and that'll get you to all the social pages. We started up this dog hug show. That was my COVID pivot.
There you go.
So on March 25th, started going Facebook Live. Spider climbed up onto my shoulders. Just
in the laundry room. Your show is in a laundry room.
Hey, it's the laundry lounge, baby.
Oh, pardon me. Sorry.
Oh, pardonnez-moi. Yeah. And so, that's what it goes out daily. We're doing some reruns right now as we're taping right now, getting ready to launch the Dog Hugs Next Generation.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Building it up. Yeah. Very excited. And making it look and feel more like a TV show, which is my background. And so, excited about that and working with Robbie Hess and the Geraldine Chata.
Geraldine's going to be on my Meowie Hour next week.
Woo-hoo. Yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, you got a good team. Hey, everybody, we're speaking with Larry Kay. Go to Positively Woof. You'll find out more about this great man who is a filmmaker who fell in love with dogs. And he's making the best. He's bringing out the best in dogs from all kinds of backgrounds. His books are amazing. They explain things well. I was able to follow that. And I've taught my dog, Kona, a few new tricks. We've got a pandemic pup named Emma, and I'm now teaching her. She knows to spin, but every time I teach her to sit, she sits up. So now I'm going to teach her to sit up, and later on, I'm going to teach her to park. Because I think sit and sit up might be too confusing. What do you think, Master?
I would say there are many paths to victory, which is one of the things that we say in our book. Yeah. There's not only one way to solve any problem or issue that we're having in our lives, as well as in our relationships with our loved pets. Arden, thank you so much for having me on your show.
Oh, I'm so delighted. Everybody, again, go to Positively Woof at the end of the show. At this time, I also want to give a big shout out to Mark Winter, the executive producer of Pet Life Radio. This is a pretty interesting stat, guys. He started this network back in 2007, and it is now the longest, continuously, and largest pet podcast network, radio network on the planet. Woof! Big woofs to Mark. Our show, Oh Behave, has over 500,000 listeners, and they're not all my relatives. I also want you to check out during COVID, my business manager and I, Erin Fenstermaker, she gutted and redid ardenmoore.com and petfirstaidforyou.com. So please take a look. And for all you cat folks, tune in to Meowie Hour every Wednesday on Facebook. It is presented by the Cat Fancier Association, and it is hosted by my orange tabbies, Casey and Rusty and me. And we have been getting some people that are on the Pet Life Radio show host as our guests. So it's all interrelated. Don't you agree, Larry?
Indeed. Indeed. We are all one.
That's
at the
right.
end of
And
the
we're
day.
all one because of that purr and that woof in our life. So, everybody, until next time, this is your flea-free host, Arden Moore, delivering just 2 words to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. Oh, behave.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. Oh Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.